We are going to talk about distributing with our polynomials. And so the steps up here at the top, the first step is we are going to multiply each inside term by the outside term, and then we're going to combine like terms. So you guys have been doing this. This is just kind of a refresher and maybe adding one or two elements from the last couple of lessons. So we've got this example. We've got 8 on the outside and then x plus 4 on the inside. So whenever you see parentheses, that means that those terms go together and we can't separate it. So we need to take this 8 on the outside and we need to multiply it by everything on the inside. So that means we're going to multiply 8 times x, and we are also going to multiply 8 times 4. So 8 times x is just 8x, and then we're going to multiply 8 times 4. It's important right here to note that whatever sign is in front of that term goes with it. So this is a positive 8 times a positive 4, so then we are going to have a plus 32. Okay, and that's it. That's it. We are done. Okay, it's really simple when there's just a number outside. So this example I included because I want you to remember that whenever we don't have a number, but especially if there's a negative sign out here, this is an understood one. Where is my other pen color? Okay, this is an understood one. So I'm still going to need to multiply each of these terms by that negative one. Each of these terms by negative 1. So I'm going to say negative 1 times 4x. That gives me now a negative 4x. Negative 1 times a negative 3. Remember, this sign travels with this number. So that's a positive 3. And then out here, we just got a minus 3 hanging out. So I need to just drop that down. So now I actually have a second step. I need to combine like terms. I don't have any other x's, so my negative 4x is going to stay the same, but I've got a positive 3 minus 3, and positive 3 minus 3 is just 0, so my answer is negative 4x. All right, let's look at one more simple example before we get to the more complicated ones. We've got negative 4 times negative 2x minus 8. So again, we are multiplying each thing inside by the outside. So we've got negative 4 times negative 2x. Remember, negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. Don't drop your x. It just stays the same. And then we have negative 4 times negative 8, and that is a positive 32. Can't combine any of those terms. Remember, if one's got a variable and one doesn't, we cannot combine those. All right, let's look at some more complicated problems. Now on the outside, I have a variable. So we have to remember our product rule, and that's why we went over it. When we have our variable times our variable, then we keep the variable the same and we add those exponents. We add that little number. Okay, so I'm going to break it down here because I still need to multiply this times this and this times this. So I'm saying 2x times x. So this equals 2. I don't have anything to multiply that number 2 here, so it stays the same. Then I have x times x. Remember, if there is no variable, no number up top, it's understood 1. So I'm going to add those. 1 plus 1 is 2. So when I say 2x times x, that gives me 2x squared. So I'm going to write that down here as my final part of my answer. And then I have 2x times 4, and that's just 8x. That's easy. That's what we were doing up here. So plus 8x. One has an x squared and one has an x. That means I cannot combine it. So we are done. All right, another example we've got here. We've got negative x times 2x. So negative x times 2x. And then we're going to have negative x plus, or times positive 3. So again, we've got an exponent times an exponent. Remember, with this negative number, that 2 is an understood 1. So I've got negative 1 times positive 2. That's a negative 2. I have x, so I'll put my x, add my exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I've got negative 2x squared. For my second term, I've got negative x times 3. That's negative 3x. Negative 3x. Up here in my original problem, I just got this positive 9 hanging out, so I need to make sure I include it. I cannot combine any of these terms. All of my variables are different. So we are done here. This is my answer. All right, one more, a little bit more complicated. Now I've got to distribute my outside here, and then I have to do it again here. Okay, so we've got 2x times 4x. Multiply those two terms. 2 times 4 is 8. Again, I got an x, add my exponents, so that is 2. So we've got 8x squared multiply 2x times negative 8. Remember that sign travels with it. Don't drop your negative sign. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. And then we don't have to add any exponents, so that's negative 16x. All right, let's do that to this side. This is whatever sign is here travels with it. So I'm multiplying positive 3 times an 8x. And 3 times 8 is 24. We have that 1x, so make sure you to bring it up here. So we've got plus 24x here. We have to say positive 3 times positive 2. 3 times 2, and that equals 6, so plus 6. So now for this one, I do have to combine some terms because I do have some like terms. So I don't have any other x squared, so that just comes down in my answer, 8x squared. But this x and this x are the same, so I need to say negative 16 plus 24 is a positive 8x. There's no other just numbers, so it's plus 6. So this one just travels down, and this one we combined. And now we are finished. All right, that was a lot. I need you to practice and ask me lots of questions.